there are huge detonation-like sounds, and I think they're coming from the active volcano. I hope I will see something when I go up, because it seems that there's cloud. Yeah, it will open up, I'm sure. Hey, this is Next Meridian. We are Nick and Mathilde, and we left everything behind to travel the world with our Land Rover Defender Albatros. 3 years, 7 continents, 88 countries, and just the road as a home. It is not our usual episode this week. Long story short, my boyfriend Nick left our world tour journey temporarily to go to Morocco guide a motorcycle trip, which leaves me 2 weeks to discover Guatemala on my own and experiment some solo female overlanding journey in this country. How exciting! But first I have a mission. One of our best friend traveler on the Pan American, Tom, needs a ride to the El Salvadorian border. So the friend I was picking up is Tom. So Tom had to leave his car Jerry on a boat in Mexico to ship it to Colombia because it's a right-hand drive, and right-hand drive are not allowed in some countries of Central America. So now he's traveling by bus all the way in Central America so that he still gets to visit the countries, and he needed a ride to the Salvadorian border in Guatemala. And because he likes hiking as much as I do, we decided also to go do a hike on the way, and that's why we're here in a city called Santa Maria on Sunday, market day, crazy, to do a hike. It's Volcán de Agua, the water volcano.
Policemen patrolling.
Awesome.
And they can park the car right outside their office.
Does it look safe?
Well, I think so.
Okay.
Because it's like right outside their office.
And but it's not in the market.
Kind of is. We have to drive through the market. How are you feeling? This is chaos.
I think now that we're here, we kind of like have to move forward.
I think in front of the truck is perfect.
We're preparing the picnic for the Agua Volcano hike.
Muy delicioso.
Muy delicioso. So we have a bit of a debate. Is on this trail there is police patrolling now, but there's still the chance that maybe you get robbed.
Yeah.
So we need to choose wisely what we take. I think we'll take minimal stuff, no camera, maybe one phone or two.
I'll leave my cash.
Yeah. We'll do a fake wallet to hand over, and that's about it. Everything had started well, until the water volcano decided to greet us with water. And then came the rain.
It was so nice and sunny, but what happened?
Our trail is turning into a stream. So we voted for aborting the mission. I think we both hate it.
Yeah.
Because it's not in the fighter spirit.
It's a tough thing to do.
But we checked the weather forecast, and it's basically raining non-stop till 8 p.m.
And it's not warm. It's, I don't know.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah.
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 There's this rule, like you lose 7 degrees every 1,000 meters, more or less, of elevation, more or less.
Or 2 degrees 1,000 feet.
Yeah, for people who speak in feet. And yeah, so I think we're getting to the colder part, and we have another 700 meters to climb, so it would be like almost another 7 degrees.
Yeah.
Let's go down.
That'd be
to
close
the
to
region.
zero, almost, I reckon.
Yeah.
On the top, yeah.
Maybe we're not ready for it.
No.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how right were we of going back?
10.
pain.
Absolutely, look at that.
Yeah.
That is nasty. And there we go, good
Yeah.
landing.
We survived the rain, got a shower, and now we're parked at the Pacaya volcano because we kind of unexpectedly decided that tomorrow we're going to do that before dropping Tom at the border. And on the menu?
On the menu is ricotta pesto.
And why are you
Pasta.
cooking?
We won't go into that.
So we just did a bet. Whoever falls in the mud first cooks and cleans the dishes. Let's go. Bet is on.
It's gonna be you. There may have been a competition. And I may have lost.
One last hike on a Guatemalan volcano, and it was already time to say goodbye to Tom at the border with El Salvador. He goes on to his solo adventure across Central America, and I go on to my solo adventure across Guatemala. That's it. That's the end of the route for Tom and Mathilde in front of the Salvadorian border. And he's ready for his odyssey through Central America.
Boosting to Panama in 2 weeks on chicken buses.
On chicken buses. Awesome. I'm alone now. I dropped Tom at the Salvadorian border. Nick is off to Morocco, and it's just me and Albo. The plan for the next 2 weeks is to go hike, discover the volcanoes of Guatemala, and I'm super excited. I guess the most obvious question we asked ourselves, and most people ask when we mentioned we were going to go our own way for 2 weeks, is it safe for a woman to travel alone in Guatemala? So this week it's really going to be about how I adjust my travel to be able to travel safely without being completely paranoid. Before I go, I'm also due a mechanical check on Albatross. I promised Nick I would do it. I think there's a bunch of things I won't take for granted anymore after those 2 weeks. The plan: head for the highlands and escape the heat and the bugs of the beachside toward El Salvador. For that, I need to drive all the way back north, almost to the border with Mexico. As I drive, everywhere, in the windows and mirrors of the Albatross, I can see volcanoes around me. And as the temperature goes down, the road gets always crazier. Probably in the mountains. The traffic is crazy because you have giant trucks that are delivering construction material, and I mean, they're huge. They're carrying like bricks and wood and stuff like this, and they kind of like stop on the side of the road to like drop their load. But then you have another one in the other direction that needs to drop his load, and then like the other cars are just slaloming and they get stuck because then you have too many cars in one direction and too many in the other. So yeah, like every kilometer is earned in this region. Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 days of driving through crazy mountain roads, I made it to my destination, a gas station. No, I'm joking. The reality is tomorrow I'm going to hike Tajumulco, the highest mountain in Central America. And I'm going with a guide because I didn't find anyone to go with me. And it seems that the uncle of this guy owns this gas station, so they let me sleep and keep my car tomorrow when we're on the trail. But I think I'm going to have a very, very, very bad sleep with all this noise, but it's okay. 5:50 p.m. almost time to go to bed for me because I need to wake up at like 9:30. Still packing my bag. I need headlamps to be able to hike in the dark, cereal bars, like whatever I need to keep energy, electrolytes. What else? I have 2 batteries for the GoPro, 1 camera, but I'm almost there. And then I'm going to bed about at the same time as Nick, and we have 5 hours difference. 6 p.m. Time to go to bed for me. Good night. I'm still at my gas station. A car showed up, a 4x4, so I assumed he was my guide, because at 1 a.m. who else could it be? And it parked right next to me. And I was like, "Hi Eric," and he was like, "No." And then he left. So just a random person just parked at 1 a.m. at this gas station, and it's not Eric. I hope Eric will come. So I'm just waiting for you, Eric. Just waiting for you. I'm ready to go. I have the peanuts packed. I have the sunscreen on. I'm ready. I called my guide because it's like 1:40 almost, and we had an appointment at 1, and I'm pretty sure I wake him up. I'm pretty sure, because he was like, "Is he?" And then he was like, "Oh, okay, in 15 minutes I come." Good start, good start. Eventually, my guide Eric showed up 50 minutes late. I chose to take a guide on this specific hike because there is an ongoing conflict between 3 communities in the areas around the access to water. As a result, some hikers had unfortunate experience of finding themselves in the middle of very uncomfortable situations. Okay, we made it to the top of the 4x4 trail. There's a beautiful star sky, and there are lightnings in the horizon from another cloud, so it looks awesome. And it's cool, but I think when we start walking it's going to get better.
Esta es la primera estación de Jesús cuando lo mataron. Esta es la primera, son 15 hasta la cima del volcán de Tajumulco.
We passed 4,000 now, and we're still following the little Camino de la Cruz. I think it is número 6.
Ajá, exacto.
Número 6. Tenemos 15. 11. Ah. Uh-huh. And that's the last cross that we touched to say we arrived on top. We are very far from sunrise, so we're going to sit and get warm. Beautiful out here at this time. It's crazy views on the crater, but I'll film it with a bit more light. And then obviously the sunrise over there, and all those little bumps over there are all the volcanoes of the regions. So nice, but frio. The volcano just there is on the border between Mexico and Guatemala. So basically over there is Mexico. So we were not alone on top, and I got a free coffee. Hola la familia. Y el sol. Gracias por el coffee. Cheers. Salud. Saludos, Eric. I'm dead but super happy. The hike was really not difficult. It's more like the height of it that makes it like a bit, I would say, a bit more challenging. But it's not super long, it's not technical, and the view is beautiful when you go for the sunrise. So I loved it. Now I am absolutely dead, but in the cities there's just no place where I can camp. I wanted to camp and like rest a bit tomorrow, but here I don't see any like nice places, so I'm going to go back to like the valleys where there seems to be a bit more options, so that I can enjoy a day of rest tomorrow and go for my next volcano, which is in the area of the big cities in the valleys. So yeah, 2 hours of drive on the crazy mountain roads, but then I'm going to have the siesta of my life. I thought also, it's been about 1 week I'm traveling without Nick, and I thought it would be a right moment to talk about the biggest question on traveling solo as a woman in Guatemala. Every single person asked it. What about security? I think it's fair to say that after 3 weeks in the country we have a good idea of, you know, the safety concern that we could have. I think there's really two different levels in the country. There's Guatemala City, where there is demonstratively a big number of robberies in cars. So many people we talked with, they were concerned about this mainly, and I think they come from the point of view that they live in the Guatemala City area, and so they are themselves victims of that. And then there's the rest of the country, which we've been traveling through, villages, bigger cities, where we really didn't have any issue. So when many people told us, oh, we're worried about Mathilde traveling alone in the country because she could be targeted as a woman, my experience the past days has really been that everyone is very helpful. Every time I raise the concern of security, they're all like, oh no, here no problem. Never have I felt unsafe. I did adapt the way I travel, so I make sure I know where I'm going to camp before leaving anywhere. So that's a big change, because with Nick we usually swing it by the end of the day, you know, like where are we sleeping tonight, and we figure out a place. Asking for the right information to the right people, Guatemala is not more dangerous than most places. And now I'm going to fix my vegetable hammock because we're at risk of having vegetables falling from the ceiling. And then later today I'm going to find a camp spot for 2 nights, because tomorrow we go hike Santa Maria and it's going to be great. On the road, and tomorrow we're going up there, Santa Maria Volcano. From there we can see one of the 3 active volcanoes of Guatemala, and I'm really excited. But first things first, I need to find a safe campsite for tonight. That's my first priority at the moment. Whoa, it's super, like, I don't know, foggy around, which really doesn't look like the rest of the weather. So I wonder if maybe it's the volcano that has like erupted, because it's not lava, it's more like fumes that it gives. But look in front. Tráigame la canela. Tráigame la canela. So I made it to the village. there's this parking spot that several travelers said is normally where they park their car to then go hike the volcano. It's really in the middle of the village, but everyone was like, yeah, it's sure you can park here. The owner doesn't seem to be here, so I'll wait for him to come back to pay, and in the meantime I'll just park in a corner, in a flat corner. And I found the owner of the place. It's an old man. I couldn't believe it was him at first. And then he told me, okay, if you have any issue, I'll lock the door, but if you have any issue, you honk 3 times on your car. And my bedroom is just above, and I'll know it's you, and I'll come and help. Anyways, that's very nice of him. I can see the volcano I'll climb tomorrow just through my windows, which is awesome. Santa Maria, tomorrow it's you and I. Morning! It's quite cold this morning. It's 3:45. It was a bit hot to come out of bed. But that's for the good cause, right? I see already light up there. I think people probably camped or they left super early. So we better go. I think I will have the sunrise on the way, because sunrise is at about 6 something. There's 1200 meters elevation to hike, so yeah, it's going to be steep. It's like 4 kilometers, 1200 meters high. The owner explained me how to open it, but looks like it locked. So the old guy of the parking locked me in. So much effort for nothing. At least I was safe. Okay, I literally had to climb over the fence to exit, so I didn't film that because it was a bit complicated, but we're on the trail. Okay, halfway distance-wise, not elevation-wise, but distance-wise we're halfway. And it's getting steeper. See, still 814 meters to climb. Yeah, we progressed 522 meters. We've done 700. Daylight's out. Time to quit the front light. Now it's really hard. I think we're on 3,300 meters, I think. There are huge detonation-like sounds, and I think they're coming from the active volcano. I hope I will see something when I go up, because it seems that there's cloud. I think Santa Maria was my favorite hike for 3 reasons. First, I did it on my own and by night. Talk about overcoming fears, that was a big one for me. Second, there are a lot of hikers from the local communities around the volcano hiking the trail. So I look a bit like an alien with my mountain gear. I am suffering on the way up, running into women hiking in sandals. Yeah, sandals. Local hikers go up the volcano to perform rituals and pray for the volcano, and they make us look like unfit. And there's some blue sky up there. I'm getting out of those clouds. That makes me really happy. Let's go see the sky. Well, I said 3 things right. Oh wait, last one is coming up just now. Wow. Look at this. I didn't come to Santa Maria for nothing. Let's see if we see what we're looking for. I think it's just behind here, and I'm really looking forward to see it. Aquí es. Boom. This is Santiaguito, one of the 3 active volcanoes of Guatemala, and the view is awesome on it. Wow! I really came just to see Santiaguito, and now I've seen an eruption. It's awesome, and the view of the other volcanoes on the other side is really cool. I'm just so happy. I know, like, it's physically not that challenging, and I mean it's easy because there's many people who camp up there with groups, and we've seen when I went up there was those people from the local communities going down, like one was even wearing sandals. But I don't know, just the fact of having done that alone and until the end makes me proud. And as the week was concluding, it was time for me to rally the shores of the Lake Atitlan for one last big hiking adventure, on my own. The Atitlan volcano, by far the longest to climb with 1,700 meters, is an ignored beauty with no one else on the summit. Probably the hardest, but definitely one of the most beautiful. Buenas.
Buenas.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien.
Pesante.
Sí.
Muchas gracias. I did it. That was my last volcano. It concludes a tiring but very fulfilling week. It was awesome. And I would do it again if I have to. It's amazing. I'm so happy. Back from the hike, I feel sticky, tired. I'm in the most amazing camp. I will show you, I think tomorrow, because right now the only thing I want to do is take a shower. But you can just check out the view. Volcano again. This week has been full of adventure. I loved it. I loved hiking, and these volcanoes were awesome. Next week we're going to slow down a little bit and have a bit of a comparison adventure between Nicola's adventure and mine. So stay here because I'm going to show you more of this area, and Nick is going to show you some of his life on the road in Morocco. And in the meantime, shower. I traveled a lot alone before meeting Nick, but never with a vehicle. In most recent years, it's the first time I get to overland on my own with the Albatros, and I loved the experience. It taught me a lot to handle some of the tasks I tended to delegate, and I come out very empowered from this experience. Next week is going to be another special episode. If you want to join us on our world tour, subscribe to the channel. In the meantime, take care and see you next week! I saw my old friend when I left and he was like, I saw you crying on my gate! I forgot that I had locked it and I should not, and then I tried to call you through the window and you didn't hear me, and I was like, it's okay, it's okay. That was funny, and that was, they made for the story at least.